What's good, everybody? So this video is about a man getting basically beat up and jumped on by the police, by the Florida Police Department, and it's caught on video. Video shows violent Florida traffic stop. So this man got beat up by the police and abused on camera, and the Florida Police Department is trying to say, oh, there was no criminal misuse going on during that traffic stop. And it's like, what? But they said an ongoing investigation is happening. Like, bruh, clearly that is obsessive force. It's obsessive force. I don't care what they say. That is obsessive force. They did not need to do that to that man. He wasn't being hostile with y'all. He wasn't being angry. He wasn't yelling or anything. He did refuse to show his ID and registration and all that, but I would have refused as well. I had run-ins with the police where they done me just like that. They didn't punch me, but they might as well. They were very aggressive and using obsessive force like they always do. And it's unnecessary. So let's get into this video.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hand. Here.
Violent moments captured on camera during a traffic stop in Jacksonville, Florida. This February video going viral after driver William McNeil Jr., who filmed it inside of his car, posted it Sunday, drawing swift reaction since. It shows an interaction with police already in progress, including the moment an officer breaks McNeil's window and strikes him in the face.
Can you call your supervisor? All right, go for it. Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hand. Here.
But the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says that the video doesn't tell the full story.
Social media is not reality. One video clip, devoid of context, can be very misleading.
The sheriff tonight releasing officer-worn body camera footage showing McNeil pulled over for driving without headlights in the rain. They say he wouldn't provide his license and registration.
I'm about to break the window.
You can hear officers repeatedly warning McNeil that if he did not comply with getting out of the vehicle, they would break his window and put him under arrest.
Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window. What is your reason?
The sheriff says none of the involved officers violated criminal law, but an administrative review is ongoing.
Yes, there absolutely was force used by the arresting officers, and yes, that force is ugly. And just because force is ugly does not mean it's unlawful.
NBC News has not spoken.
So they said the police did not use criminal law, enforcement, while doing this traffic stop. That is a lie. It was very, very obsessive with the force. Very obsessive force used. They punched and dragged this man, jumped on him. I don't know how many cops jumped on him. That's what they love to do. They did that to me when they traffic stopped me and beat me up. Like I'm freaking Pablo Escobar or somebody. You know what I'm saying? This is the police tactic. They love to jump on a black person. And I'm going to say that because it's true. They love to jump on black people. I said it. And whoever got a problem with it, wait till it happen to you. So you can't sit up here and say this ain't obsessive force. It was very unnecessary for them to use that type of force with this man just because he didn't open his door, just because he didn't show y'all his ID or registration. So what? I don't trust the police. I wouldn't have opened my door either. What, you gonna kill me over that? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like, for those that think that the police was right, that just shows the devil at work. You got a mind frame that's agreeing with evil, because anybody in their right mind could see that the police was wrong. They were dead wrong in this situation. If they couldn't get the man to open the door or show his information, the man asked for the supervisor. Bring the supervisor in. Let me talk to your officer in command so I can talk to somebody above you because I don't feel safe right now. You know what I'm saying? We're allowed to make those kind of uh what's the word I'm looking for? We're allowed to have rights to speak that what we need to do. If it's a situation where we feel our life is in danger and is at risk, we have the right to say, I don't feel right about this. Let me speak to your officer in command. Let me speak to your officer that's in command. Let me speak to the officer that's above you guys because I do not feel safe. I do not feel safe. I will not open my doors. I will not show you any information because I do not feel safe. Like, that's it. They got to beat this man up, bust his window. And what got me, the police said, oh, that the internet shows very little of what really happened. The internet isn't real life. But why, when they show on the body cam of the officer, they didn't show the officer busting out that window? Because it was aggressive and obsessive. They knew they was wrong. That's why they cut that part out. But with the young man in the car, his footage shows everything of them using excessive force, him calling for the commanding officer, and then they bust in his window, sock and punched him, and dragged him out the car and jumped on the man. That ain't excessive force? That's not criminal activity during a traffic stop on the police have? Come on now. So I don't rock with the police. Never did, never have, because they always dirty. They dirty, dirty, dirty. And they say the police protect and serve, but what are they protecting? To me, themselves and being greedy and dirty. They never for people. When have the police ever helped anybody? To keep it a buck, this is the type of stuff the police do. And that's why I don't respect no police.
McNeil directly, but his lawyer says he's still recovering.
His teeth actually went through his lip when he was slammed to the ground. So he's still recovering and dealing with those injuries.
His attorney says they plan on filing a lawsuit. Marissa Parra, NBC News.
And we thank you for watching, and remember.
Yes, a lawsuit is definitely needed. He needs to sue them for every dime. Sue them for every dime. Every dime. And I hope he win. Yep, I hope he win. Because that was unnecessary.
Hunglo tire.
What them cops did was unnecessary.
Beauty is more than meets the eye. It's the spirit.
The sheriff says none of the involved officers violated criminal law, but an administrative review is ongoing.
Yes, there absolutely was force used by the arresting officers. And yes, that force is ugly. And just because force is ugly does not mean it's unlawful.
NBC News has not spoken to McNeil directly, but his lawyer says he's still recovering.
His teeth actually went through his lip when he was slammed to the ground. So he's still recovering and dealing with those injuries.
His attorney says they plan on filing a lawsuit. Marissa Parra, NBC News.
He is going to get paid. And I can't see that any insurance company, because a lot of these police departments, they pay an egregious amount of insurance so that if anything happened, then they basically have the capacity to be able to pay off or to settle these lawsuits. A lot of times it's also settled at taxpayers' expense. So when you see incidents like this happen, it's important for us to call it out, because one of the reasons why we ask for body cam footage is so that we would be able to hold the police officers accountable. Now, in a lot of instances, in most instances that I've looked at, because one of the things that I like to watch is these police footage videos and police footage, body cameras and all of that other type of stuff. And so I would say maybe 98, 99% of the time, it just basically proves that people are lying and they finessing. But in this case, I think that there was excessive force that was used. And so I'm not sure if they are taking a position that, I'm protecting you, or we just gonna stay 10 toes down, or, you know, the commanding officer is just, you know, holding down his police force. I don't know if he's trying to protect them from a lawsuit or whatever, and just stay on that type of time. But in reality, and I've seen this actually going viral. I think like a day or two ago, I seen this going viral on X, formerly known as Twitter. But here's the thing: two things can be true at the same time. The first part is, yes, he was told to provide his license and insurance or registration or whatever, and he refused to get out of the car. I would like to try to get my hands on, and I'll do a separate review if I'm able to find additional footage that of him from inside of the car, why he was explaining why he did not give his license and insurance. But they did tell him that they was going to break the window and remove him from the car. And so, you know, he could have complied. He could have, and I'm not sure if he had a license or registration or whatever, right? He could have complied. He could have just, you know what I'm saying, handled it in court and played it differently. Me personally, I get pulled over all the time because, you know, honestly, I'm going to just be honest with you. It depends on where I am and at certain points, because I don't like being a sitting duck at a stoplight, depending on what type of car I'm driving or whatever. And it doesn't make it right, but I'm willing to deal with the consequences that come along with getting pulled over and get a ticket. I don't care about that. I'll give it to my lawyer to handle. But I'm saying that because I know that a lot of times I get pulled over. I am very respectful of police officers. I roll my window down. I give them a license, registration, or whatever. And so 90% of the time, they don't even give me a ticket. The other 10% of the time, they do give me a ticket. And I'm like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We could just handle it in court. But the reason that I'm saying that is because, you know, I would prefer to fight it out in court than to ever put myself in a position to where I either get unalived, or I got to get punched in the face, or I got to deal with the repercussions that come along with it. So again, I'm breaking this down in two different parts. The first part is, it seems like he was not compliant, and that, you know, they did warn him that they would break the window and pull him out of the car. The other side of it is this: you're not going to sit here and tell me that that's not excessive force. Let me see if I can find. You're not going to sit here and tell me that, you know what I'm saying, him breaking the window is one thing. Him intentionally punching him in the face is a completely separate issue. If you're saying that him punching him in the face as a result of breaking the window because he knew what he was doing, and, you know, we not going to sit here and gaslight. He was wrong. The police officer was wrong. But here's the bigger issue. It's not about what.
Look, him busting the man's window was not needed either. If the man asked for the supervisor, for the officer in command, give me the officer in command. I'm going to sue your socks off. And I'm getting paid, bruh. I'm getting paid for being violated and jumped on. I'm getting paid for that. You gonna pay. You gonna pay. And I hope you lose your job. Because y'all cops dirty as I don't know what.
Whether or not he got punched in the face, because obviously, you know, most of us has been punched in the face if we've ever gotten into a fight before. Maybe not by a police officer or whatever. So, but here's the bigger issue, and this is one of the reasons why people are concerned. If you're willing to punch somebody in the face with a body camera on and him recording, and then you're going to pass it off like you were just trying to break the window, or you were just using force to be able to get him out of the car. The thing that concerns people, and I am a heavy advocate for, and I promote supporting and advocating for the good police officers, because I believe that it's a few bad apples that give the rest of them, a bad taste in their mouth. What else could you have possibly done, or what else should we question your character for? You know what I'm saying? If of what we can't see, or people that didn't report certain things, or if you didn't have your body camera footage on, or what you got going on, you know what I'm saying, when you off duty, but you still have the ability to tell people that you're a police officer. That is the bigger conversation a lot of times that I think that, you know, a lot of these police officers or police chiefs that, you know, have this conversation don't talk about. What else are you doing, or what else don't we know? Because usually when stuff like that happens, or stuff happens, it's just a smaller reflection of what you also doing. If I find somebody that say, yeah, man, I got caught doing this, or man, I can't believe they did. It's usually not the first time that they committed the crime. It's usually not the first time that they did something wrong. It's the first time that they got caught. But it also happens on the other side of the law, or other people. When people get caught up doing something, or when people get exposed for doing something and they rightfully are, you know what I'm saying, they rightfully getting exposed, or, you know, they need to be held accountable, it's usually the first time that they got caught. It's not the first time that they ever got exposed. So when I see this video of him being overly aggressive, which was unnecessary, right? Because a lot of times, me personally, I say, well, you know what I'm saying, you should have did what you're supposed to do, so on and so forth. Correct. But two things, again, can be true at the same time. It's an excessive use of force. He intentionally punched him in the face. And aside from the lawsuit that's going to cost taxpayers, because we know that nothing is going to happen to this police officer in this instance because nobody got killed or anything like that. Worst case scenario, he get put on the desk job until everything gets smoothed over. Then he back on the streets. I'm always questioning the character because I don't know what else happened outside of that would then warrant, you know what I'm saying, you doing this in this situation and feeling like you can get away with it and being overly aggressive trying to justify it. What else do you got going on behind the scenes? Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap.
Exactly. When cops do that, you know they're used to doing that. And that's what they always do. It's been reported, it's been recorded that these cops are always overly aggressive. They use excessive force. They're trigger happy. They can't wait to abuse their power. They cannot wait to use that power and abuse it. Just because they got that badge on, they think they on cloud 9 and they can do whatever they want, and they cannot. So, yeah, y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this video. Do y'all think the officer was wrong? Do you think the man was wrong? Which I don't think he was. But let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts about this situation. It's a very touchy situation to me because I had a run-in with the police like that. And it's not that I'm on the man's part that it happened to. And it's not because he's black. It's just the fact that the police love to use excessive force. They love to abuse their power. And I do not rock with that. I do not respect that. So let me know y'all thoughts on this video because it's a very, it's an aggressive video seeing that type of stuff. So let me know your thoughts about it. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. And let me know your thoughts on it. God bless y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one.